everyone, I'm Natalia Bilbao, and here's what's happening in LA this week. The largest Lunar New Year event in LA is undoubtedly the annual Golden Dragon Parade in Chinatown. Thousands of spectators shared in the artistic traditions and enjoyed the cultural performances up close, ensuring a promising start to the Year of the Dragon.
Today's a great day in CD1. We are here in Chinatown celebrating the 125th anniversary of the Golden Dragon Parade. You have community members here, small businesses, city departments, schools from other parts of the city celebrating the Lunar New Year. And I'm just grateful that we get these cultural events here in CD1 and that CD1 and Chinatown get to be the home of the Golden Dragon Parade.
This is a great event where a lot of Asian American cultures come together. Even those who are not part of the Asian American community come together to celebrate our heritage and to just celebrate community. This year is the Year of the Dragon, and the dragon represents power, strength, and benevolence. And so we just want to make sure that we can continue that in all the positive ways in our city.
I'm honored and just privileged to be here today for the 125th parade for the Chinese New Year. It's a wonderful tradition. I represent the 5 commissioners on the police commission, and we're just really delighted to be part of this, especially since we have Chief Choi, who's going to be our first Asian American chief of police.
The meaning for this community is to reorganize ourselves and start up a new year so that we can be there for our families, for our culture, for our traditions, and make sure we fight for the things that our community cares about. Our community cares about stopping the hate and the violence, because no community should be subject to violence or to hate or to any of those discriminatory things. So I'm here to celebrate with our community. We are a very, very diverse city and county, and I'm very proud of that.
I am so proud to represent the first supervisorial district that has 25% AAPI, the largest in any of the county of Los Angeles. And we're so excited to be here to celebrate Lunar New Year. And I'm standing here with our Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. So we're all here to celebrate, right? Yeah. Everybody say, Happy Lunar New Year! Happy Lunar New Year!
Hats off to the latest graduates of the Los Angeles Police Department Academy. These new officers were celebrated by their families, local council members, and Chief Michael Moore, who was attending his last graduating ceremony as the LAPD chief.
I felt very proud seeing my dad on stage. It was a very big accomplishment. He became a police officer today.
Today we see a momentous occasion of the graduation of the next 36 police officers that are joining the ranks of the Los Angeles Police Department. This is my last graduation. It just filled my heart because each of them demonstrated a heart of compassion, a zeal to serve and to live for something bigger than themselves.
My uncle Woody Ariola, the bravest Marine I've ever met, and future best police officer in the LAPD, graduated today. I love him, so proud of him. Looking forward to seeing him out there.
Seeing all the councilmen and everybody, it just really brought to my attention like how important today's world is of police officers.
It's a joyous day, and it's one of celebration, and I think that LA should be proud of its department, of its police department that goes out, and while we don't always get it right, I know that we do our best in every instance to do the right thing.
A ban on street vendors operating in certain parts of the city has just been lifted. Councilmember Hugo Soto Martinez explains how the new direction will ensure vendors can trade safely and continue to contribute to the local economy.
Acabamos de eliminar la prohibición en contra de los vendedores ambulantes en las 7 zonas que teníamos, porque queremos dar un mensaje muy claro para los vendedores ambulantes, que los queremos parte de la ciudad, no queremos que trabajen en las sombras. Acabamos de eliminar las 7 zonas, que es el Estudios Universales, es el Hollywood Bowl, el Walk of Fame, Placita Olvera, LA Live, el Coliseum y el estadio de los Dodgers. Sabemos que estas áreas es donde muchos turistas vienen, mucha gente está caminando y para muchos vendedores ambulantes es el lugar donde pueden hacer más dinero. Entonces queremos que sepan de que no vamos a excluir a nadie y que invitamos a esa gente que trabaja duro para su familia que vengan y prueben por su familia. So the no vending zones were these very broad, sweeping prohibition on vending that was in various locations of the city, which caused a lot of harassment and ticketing. And so SB 946 was a bill that was championed by Senator Lina Gonzalez that made it illegal to have these broad, sweeping prohibitions on street vending. There are still regulations around the ingress and egress, folks next to fire hydrants, and a lot of other ones. What we are getting rid of is the broad no vending zones, but there are still regulations, and I think what's going to be more important is that now we'll have a better ability to work with the street vendors and work with those other parties to make sure that we have a more holistic policy. I think we sent a very clear and loud message that we value the street vendors, that we recognize that they are part of the social fabric of our city. They're entrepreneurs. We want to bring them closer to government to make sure that they can thrive. And so I think it was an amazing message that we sent from the council. This was a very personal issue. My parents were street vendors. I mean, I was a street vendor. So I recognize the hardship that street vendors go through, how they're oftentimes ignored or don't feel safe to go to the city when they're being mistreated or robbed. There are many different issues that come up for street vendors. So I think this is a way to bring them closer and make them feel part of the community.
Teens self-directing their learning. How would that work? Very successfully, as it turns out. TUMO's Centers for Creative Technologies offer long-term and free after-school opportunities for teens to learn real-world tech. TUMO has just added the San Fernando Valley as one of its world locations.
I'm so excited to be here today for the groundbreaking ceremony for the new TUMO Center here in the 2nd Council District in the East Valley. This is going to be not only one of the premier after-school programs for teens in the entire East San Fernando Valley, completely free to all participants, but it's also going to be an incredible new opportunity for some of these young people to learn what they need to succeed in the technology industry and entertainment and music and animation and so many other areas that are critically important to the economy of the San Fernando Valley and all of Los Angeles.
TUMO Los Angeles will offer a range of free programs to young people, not just in the North Hollywood area, but throughout the city of Los Angeles. And they will be exposed to careers in technology and in the STEM fields and science, and to connect them to potential job opportunities through these services.
TUMO is unique in a few ways. One is that it's a long-term program, so our students will spend 2 to 2.5 years on average working at TUMO. During the program, they're working on interdisciplinary skills.
Our schools are struggling because of lack of funding. So an after-school program like this not only provides a safe place for young people to go after school, but it also enriches them with all of those things that we used to take for granted that these young people deserve to have as part of their education. That's something that TUMO will provide that might not be provided during the school day.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass has announced the appointment of the city's first ever Deputy Mayor of Homelessness and Community Health. Dr. Exime P. Agonifer brings years of experience advocating for health equity and justice for vulnerable individuals and populations. As the Community Health Advisor in the Mayor's office since May 2023, Dr. Agonifer supported the Inside Safe program and designed the current substance use disorder pilot. Dr. Agonifer was a National Clinician Scholar at UCLA and previously served as assistant professor at Kaiser Permanente Bernard J. Tyson School of Medicine. For more information on the mayor's office, go to mayor.lacity.gov. LA Animal Services wants to remind you that February is Spay and Neuter Awareness Month. Spaying and neutering are safe, simple surgeries that prevent animals from reproducing. Females are spayed and males are neutered. There are many health benefits of spaying and neutering pets, such as preventing unwanted litters, lowering risks of cancer, and increasing lifespan. Spaying and neutering pets is a responsible and humane way to prevent overcrowding in shelters and reduces the number of healthy animals being euthanized. LA Animal Services has 5 spay-neuter clinics located on-site at city animal shelters. The clinics are independently operated and open to the public. For more information, visit the Animal Care tab at laanimalservices.com. The Los Angeles County Registrar Recorder County Clerk has mailed the vote-by-mail ballots to all registered voters for the March 5, 2024 primary election. To vote by mail, complete the ballot and use the envelope provided, which must be signed and dated. Then the ballot can be returned in a number of ways. Completed ballots may be mailed without a postage stamp or dropped into a registered ballot drop box or handed in at a local Los Angeles County vote center. Voters can track their ballot every step of the way with Where's My Ballot, a free subscription tool which sends automatic status notifications. The March 5, 2024 primary nominating election includes primary voting for Los Angeles City Council Districts 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. For more information on voting in Los Angeles, visit lavote.gov.
Shirley Weber credits the community of South LA for giving her great support when her family fled the South to start over in LA. Now, Dr. Shirley Weber is California's first Black Secretary of State. Dr. Weber was honored by the city for an amazing career of service in education, legislation, and representation.
We are honoring today Dr. Shirley Nash Weber. That's right, give it up. We're here at City Hall. Today we are honoring Dr. Shirley Weber, our Secretary of State, but we are honoring her by declaring this as Shirley Weber Day in the city of LA. Well-deserved tribute to someone who's done a lot for equity and inclusion in our community.
I was honored for having lived in the District 9 of Los Angeles, place where I was raised, and it was quite an honor because I give tremendous credit to that community that helped me to grow and to develop and offered me so many opportunities like becoming Secretary of State. You know, my father came here because he was running from a lynch mob, and he was a sharecropper in Arkansas who fought back for his dignity, earned enough money to bring his wife and 6 children to California. We had limited resources, very meager means, but strong values about what we should do as young people and children. And my mother and my father and my grandmother and my uncle were totally committed to our success, to become leaders and contributors to Los Angeles. So I pay homage to that.
Well, this is significant that we're celebrating during Black History Month. It certainly is an opportunity to identify individuals who really have made a difference, who have persevered, and who can be a positive role model for others.
And so I stand before you as a proud person, and I thank you for what you've done for me. I thank Los Angeles. I thank California for developing the best educational system in the world that poor people can afford. But I also say we have to continue to do it. You can be anything you want to be. If you look at where I started in terms of appearance with very little education, coming to California with nothing other than ourselves and our family, and working hard. You can make children that are excellent. You can actually build a community and a life for yourself that you'll be proud of. I tell the parents every day, there was no magic to having a daughter with 3 degrees from UCLA other than hard work and determination. And so I say take advantage of the strength of your family, make sure that everybody is safe, cared for, and give them the pride and dignity they need to be successful. My only regret in life is that my parents are not here to see the contributions they made, not just to my life, but to the life of California. because they committed themselves to all of us to be healthy, to be safe, to be respectful, and to be independent in terms of working, but equally important, to give back all that we have to make sure that our space in this world is better. Thank you, Kern Price. Thank you so much, City Council. I appreciate being here with you today, and I'm honored to be the proud daughter of the night.
As part of African American History Month, LA's Department of Public Works honored artist Mark Stephen Greenfield. Greenfield has sustained his visual art throughout a varied career and has some advice for artists today.
We're at the Pico House, downtown Los Angeles, and I'm being honored.
We're here to celebrate African American History Month. Today we focus on Mark Stephen Greenfield, who's one of the noted artists from the great city of Los Angeles. His work reflects social justice, and he also has focused on doing paintings on the Black Madonna. And so he's a very interesting and dynamic visual artist.
I worked for the city for 29 years. I worked for the police department for a number of years as a police artist. And then I worked for the Cultural Affairs Department. I was the director of the Watts Towers Art Center for 9 years. And then I ran 3 art centers in San Pedro and Wilmington. And then I became the director of the Municipal Art Gallery at Barnstable. Fundamentally, it changes the quality of life. And without the arts, kind of think about how boring the place would be. You know, without dance, without music, without something visual.
The original 44 settlers that actually founded the city, 26 of those settlers were African American. And we want to make sure that people understand that just like now, Los Angeles is a diverse city.
There are a lot of forces that work against the arts, you know, censorship and all kinds of other things.
Never give up. You could end up becoming a master in whatever you do. It depends on how much dedication and passion you put into it, but never give up.
Be brave. Express yourself, put those ideas out there, because you have the ability to articulate things that can't be articulated any other way. And that's a responsibility that you really need to take up.
Anything else you'd like to say?
You want my recipe for gumbo? I ain't giving it up.
LA's Department of Civil and Human Rights honored Black journalists and storytellers at the Voices of LA Awards 2024. The awards highlight voices that are either underrepresented or often overlooked. This year's awardees have impacted community dialogue and delivered on hard-hitting and important issues.
We are honoring amazing folks that have had impressive careers in the media and journalism. Today, we are in the Tom Bradley Tower celebrating and kick off to African American Heritage Month as we honor the Voices of LA Awards.
The LA Civil Rights Department is honoring journalists today, and I'm honored to be among those selected.
Being able to be at that crossroads between journalism and activism is really an honor. And the work that you do at LA Civil Rights is not just to say platitudes. The LA Department of Civil Rights puts teeth behind those intentions.
It's really special to receive an award from the LA Civil Rights Department because the department is tasked with not only rooting out discrimination, hate crimes, and bad relations between different communities, but it's also tasked with promoting what makes us better and stronger as Los Angeles.
I don't do this for the accolades or the awards. Like, you know, being able to tell people stories gives me so much joy. When I pick up that phone and talk to people and they feel, you know, open, telling me, you know, some of the issues they've been through and some of the things they're seeing in their community, like, to me, that is the greatest honor.
Talk 1580 is the first Black-owned talk radio station west of the Mississippi, and the fact that there are thousands of these across the country, and they are almost exclusively owned by conservative, white ownership, to know that we've been able to step into this market and make a difference, and people are listening and they like what they're hearing, it means the world.
In journalism and in the news industry, so often there are voices that go underrepresented and overlooked. Storytellers are so important. Storytellers help us understand issues, understand people, understand community. I am just so happy to be a vessel in which people feel trusted and honored to tell their stories.
LA This Week got to go behind the scenes at the Crushes Art Show and Zine Fest. Independent artists and DIY creators set out their stalls at the Center for the Arts Eagle Rock, putting their work on display and supporting one another in this artistic community.
Today we're doing our Crushes Zine Fest and Art Show. Our Zine Fest is the first one that we've ever done here before, and then we also have an art show going on in our gallery. So the Zine Fest features a lot of independent artists. They do their own publishing, a lot of self-publishing. There's handmade booklets and little magazines. A lot of them experiment with different printmaking. They also have stickers and all different kinds of things for sale. And then in the gallery space where we have our Crushes Art Show, we have a bunch of different artworks in all different mediums, ranging from acrylic, and we have different prints and all different kinds of things.
It's just a really cool mix of comics and personal zines and illustrations, and a lot of indie artists making a lot of really cool stuff, and it's so fun to be a part of it and also to trade zines and buy people's zines and their prints and their artwork, and it's awesome.
I think it is very critical for the community to have these events because I feel like it gives us all a platform to share our work, and it's also motivating in a way when there's events like this going on. It helps us create more work for it, so I think it's very crucial.
I think the wonderful part about making art is that you can do something that you are very comfortable with, and like it's a story or abstract or visual artist or something, you're able to do it and you let your imagination get on paper and have a little fun with it.
It's a little difficult to organize things, I'm gonna admit, but it's worth it in the end to see everything up on the walls. And then this morning when I saw the zine vendors come in, hearing all of them say, this is so great, this is such a great space, it just really made me realize that we're doing something special here, and all the hard work over the past few months has just been completely worth it. So I could not have been happier with the results.
We're celebrating African American History Month in Los Angeles. City officials tell our Anita Bennett about the events taking place this February which honor African American contributions to society in general and the arts in particular.
Celebrating living legends and African American contributions to the arts. All that is part of the African American Heritage Month celebrations here in Los Angeles. What else is happening in the city of LA to mark African American Heritage Month?
Well, we have many activities in the month of February. We started off with a roundtable discussion on the national theme, as you mentioned earlier. This year it is African American and the arts. And so we had various scholars throughout the academic institutions, all of whom had a discussion about the impact of art and what it generates in our communities today.
In addition to the City Hall celebrations, of course, there are activities going on all over the city, not the least of which is the Baldwin Hills Mall. Of course, the Pan-African Arts Festival is going on, and vendor booths at the mall. But these activities really are symptomatic of what's happening all over the community as we celebrate, recognize, and take part in these celebrations.
Yes, and we are doing events even in the Tom Bradley room, and it will honor 2 living legends in the media. We're talking about Dominic DePrima from KBLA 1580 AM, as well as our very own Angel Jennings from the LA Times.
Commissioner Davis, for just the second time in modern history, we have a black mayor in LA. What does that mean for black Angelenos?
It means a lot, and I first want to say it means a lot for everyone. She's the first woman ever to be a leader in the great city of Los Angeles. And in terms of being an African American, the first African American woman, it means that Los Angeles is this multicultural city, the second largest city in America, but yet a multicultural city where African Americans matter.
I want to ask each of you, what does African American Heritage Month mean to you?
Well, for me, it means a chance to celebrate and to recognize. Certainly, there's always the historical programs about what went on in the past and what our ancestors did. That's so very important. But I think it's also important to inspire and encourage the current generation, the next generation.
I think it's important for us to know that in spite of some of the obstacles, African Americans have continued to contribute to Los Angeles, whether it's the arts or thinking about the medical contributions of maybe like a Charles Drew and others, and thinking about the work that has been done to keep those stories alive by the Arthur Study Club and the great work of Commissioner Mike Davis, along with our council members from Council Districts 8, 9, and 10.
For me, it means a national impact of who we are in this country. It means for me from slavery to freedom. It means for me what is possible in America. And ultimately, African American History Month means to me an example of the American dream.
Usher in the Year of the Dragon with this vibrant one-day festival of short films celebrating Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese cultures. LA City's Department of Cultural Affairs invites you to the inaugural Lunar New Year Film Festival, taking place at the Barnsdale Gallery Theater on Saturday afternoon, March 2nd, starting at 3 p.m. This specially curated selection of short-form cinema shares tales of family, identity, and the pursuit of dreams from the unique perspective of filmmakers of Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese descent. Admission is free, but theater seating is limited, so be sure to reserve your place. Find out more about the Department of Cultural Affairs Lunar New Year Film Festival at culturela.org. If you've ever wanted to get greener thumbs, Los Angeles Public Library has all the help you'll need at Plant Day. Join Chicas Verdes to learn how to plant your own herb garden. At this hands-on event, you'll pick up some gardening basics and plant your own herb garden to take home. Chicas Verdes will be hosting drop-in sessions at the Thornton Courtyard at Los Angeles Central Library. Other Plant Day workshops, stories, and speakers take place during the day, Saturday, March 2nd at Los Angeles Public Library's Central Library. All the events are free and family-friendly. Celebrate plants and the joy of nature at Plant Day on Saturday, March 2nd, beginning at 10 a.m. For more information on Chicas Verdes and Plant Day events at the library, go to lapl.org/events. LA City's Department of Recreation and Parks invites you to join in, lace up, and get going for the annual Griffith Park Run on Sunday, March 3rd. The entry fee for the run goes to supporting Los Angeles City Parks, and the run is open to all levels of ability. The half marathon course takes you past the Griffith Park landmarks, the merry-go-round, Travel Town, the zoo, and the Autry, finishing at Crystal Springs Picnic Area. The 5K course is a flat and scenic 3.1 miles around the park. Runners and supporters can enjoy a beer garden and food trucks on site. Join the Los Angeles Parks Foundation and Aslan Athletics for the 2024 Griffith Park Run on Sunday, March 3rd, starting at 7:30 a.m. For more information, visit rungpr.com. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's all for this week. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. Remember that you can watch us online anytime at lacityview.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.